Hello YouTube! We are back with another Elestrals video, this time gameplay. We're actually playing with the starter decks that were sent to me by aDrive, aka Dan. Thank you for letting me be partnered with Elestrals for yet another video. And today's video is going to be featuring me playing the Stratomoth deck versus my friend Brandon, who's playing the Centaurbor deck. Centaurbor deck is definitely a powerhouse. It's my favorite deck, so I decided to play Stratomoth instead. I really like what both decks can do. That being said, we are still, call to actioning people for this game. So call to action and download link in the description. There'll be a pinned comment with that link as well. Definitely check out Elestrals. We have some sweet Kickstarter prizes, some sweet merch, some awesome cards, and the whole experience has been a blast. So I hope you guys actually click on the links and look into this game. It would be awesome if we got more people playing this game. But now, enough of that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm showing you two games today. One game where Stratomoth shows you what it can do, and one game where Centaurbor can show you what it does. There is a game 3 to the match. I did not upload it in this video. If you want to see the game 3, which is as long as the first two games and as back and forth as you can think, I want 100 likes on this video. If we can get 100 likes, I will upload that game 3, and I think it's going to be a really awesome game 3. You don't want to miss it. Future Mario here to tell you that these are prototype decks. These are not representative of the starter decks that are coming out. For example, the Wind one is completely different. Instead of Stratomoth, it is Pantera. And if you participate in the Kickstarter, you get a full art with every booster box as a box topper, which is really cool. Pantera, big dragon, scary dragon. That's all. And again, I know I've said this before on stream and in the last video, but shout out to aDrive for making a sick and wicked game. Thanks to all the creators that helped him out. Thanks to all the people on the development team that helped him with the game in the first place. The game is really cool, and you'll see that in the gameplay. You'll see how the spirits are your mana and your life points at the same time. It's definitely unique to see all sorts of different Elestrals doing all sorts of different abilities. Some abilities that are familiar if you played other card games, and some that are brand new. Like so many different cards, and this is just a sample of them. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll enjoy game 1 and 2 and dive into it. Okay, we are starting things off with our first game of the day. I am on the left playing the Stratomoth deck, and Brandon is on the right playing the Centaurbor deck. I will be going first in this game, and my hand is looking pretty good for this deck, I'm not gonna lie. We're going to start off here, as soon as I play it, with a rune called Aeolus. Aeolus, when you enchant it, you can enchant up to 3 additional spirits. As you can see, I put 4 underneath it. It costs 1, and then I put 3 additional spirits underneath it. And what this card does, it allows you to disenchant a wind spirit to add a wind spirit that costs 1 from your deck to your hand. So this is going to add us our combo piece, which is Nimbug. Nimbug here has a really cool ability. When you play him, you obviously have to enchant 1 spirit, that's fine. But then you can expend an additional wind spirit to special send the Nimbug into a Suicune from your hand or deck. Which is what I'm doing right now, as soon as I can find my Suicunes. There we go. Suicune being a 2-drop spirit, basically, with 7 defense, is a great turn 1 start. He's not going to be able to do a lot to it unless he has something like Veritaqua or an Earthquake or anything that might be able to overpower, like maybe he has Demeter's Scythe, Green Dude. That's all very possible. But here, Brandon's just considering his options. He's not doing anything, super aggressive, which leads me to think, when I'm playing this live, he doesn't have anything like Veritaqua or a way to do it up. So what he's going to do here, he's playing a card, or he's thinking about playing a card, rather. He's playing Tornado, and Tornado for 1 wind allows you to bounce a rune back to the hand. So essentially it costs me all those spirits, those extra spirits that I was going to search each turn, just to get my deck going. He ruined all those spirits for me. And if you guys noticed, he didn't expend a spirit to, play a creature this turn. He expended a spirit to draw a card, which is something you can do. Unfortunately, it tells me that his hand must be kind of unplayable, which works for us. On the start of my turn, I'm going to special ascend that Suicune into a Stratomoth, and Stratomoth is the big boss monster of the deck. You can expend a Wind Spirit, target, and return a rune on your opponent's field to their hand, and that's pretty freaking strong if you ask my opinion. now that I have that on the field, I'm going to play another card that lets us do some interesting things. This is an electric card, the Chick card. Particularly, I think its card is called, what is it called? I can't remember. Elechick, there we go. It's Elechick. Elechick there, hey, it allows me to search a 1-wind spirit from my deck to my hand. Now keep in mind, this does require me to play electric spirits in the spirit deck, because if I were to enchant it with a different spirit, it wouldn't get any of its abilities. So we do have to play multicolor in this game, and that's okay. Multicolor is good. Now that I search my Sorlet, I set a card face down, and I attack for 4 spirit damage. Now, Brandon is down a third of his spirit deck, which is super unfortunate for him, and it's only turn 2. I'm also down many Merry Spirits, but I actually have a board to show for it. Hopefully he can start doing something now. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's going to do. He probably doesn't have a way to out the Stratomoth unless he gets an Earthquake, which is just a smashing ground, basically. He's playing a Spynymph. Spynymph. That's the name of the card. Spynymph there. For 1 green, you can play it. Then, if it's destroyed by battle, you can enchant it over to an opponent's creature that killed it, and that Elestral that destroyed it has 0 attack, making it unable to do damage. Me knowing that, I'm not going to attack it, obviously, with my Stratomoth. That would be kind of foolish. And I'm currently debating what I want to play in order to take advantage of the board state. I'm just going to play the Sorlet, one of the game's best cards in my opinion. I use the Sorlet to switch the dude to attack mode. You know, that way I could kill it with the Elechick, and have the Elechick be the one to get the Spynymph instead of, you know, Stratomoth. Then I attack it for 4 more damage, and things are looking very downhill for Brandon here. He needs, like, Earthquake plus cards to, like, deal with my board right now. It's the only way he can do it at this point in time. And Earthquake being one of the best cards in the deck. I think, I don't have the green deck in front of me, but the green deck, the original one I received, I believe it has just the 1 Earthquake. So trying to draw the 1 Earthquake out of 40 cards, it's hard. It's not easy. You really need some heart of the cards to make that work. Here we see a P-Gust. So what he's going to do with P-Gust is, like normal enchanted, it's going to pop my face down rune, and then he's going to attack over the Elechick, allowing him to kind of dismantle my board a little bit. But he's only got 7 spirits left in his deck, and a P-Gust is not going to do much to hold off my ferocious board. Now that's out of the way, I'm just kind of deciding, you know, what do I want to play? What do I want to do? Do I continue to go wide, or do I just make 2 really, really big creatures on the field? Because the Wind deck has access to some pretty scary creatures. It seems like we're going to ascend into the Falacane. You guys notice what we did there? We got rid of the Sorlet and added an additional spirit to ascend into Falacane. Falacane, I believe, is also one of the best cards in the game, being a card that can either Heartbeast Feather Duster your opponent, or Heavy Storm, depending on what you got. So here he has 2 things to deal with like 3 spirits left in his deck. This game is pretty much over. He's not going to be able to do anything with that. I think he's just going to play something in defense and pass the turnover. That's what I believe is going to happen here. We'll just verify that. Like, there's nothing, yeah. Oh, he's even trying to play a 2-cost, which I remind him, you know, we're new to this. He couldn't play a 2-cost because he needs to be able to, you know, ascend into it, basically. He's going to go ahead and play a 1-cost, the Equilinx. I believe that's what that card is called. Can't do anything with only 1 spirit. Has a really strong Nexus effect, though, which is unfortunate. And, yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to pass. He's going to pass, and I'm going to win the game, basically. So that's it for that. All right. We are starting off Game 2 here. Game 2 of the match. Don't forget, if you want to see that Game 3, you're definitely going to want to get 100 likes on this video. Moving right along here, he's making me go first. Now, this is a conversation that we've had before. We don't know if it's better to go first or second in this game. Does the extra card really matter too much? If you guys have an opinion on that, let us know in the comments. Anyway, why I bring this up is because, yes, it gives me 1 less card to go with and gives him an extra card to go for. But it didn't matter in my case because I have the combo, Aeolus, which lets us have the Nimbug, which allows us to special ascend to Suicune turn 1. And again, unless he has like a Veritaqua or something, it's going to make life incredibly difficult for him. Perhaps we'll see a repeat of the last game where we ended up, getting Stratomoth turn 2. But no, does not stop there. No, we are actually activating Nectar of Gods, aka Pot of Greed. And this card allows me to draw 2 cards from my deck for the cost of 2 spirits. So we go ahead and do that. But the turn still isn't over, because we actually opened up the field spell, the Island of Aeolia, which I'm sure I'll play here any second now. I'm sure I'll play. There it is. Giving all Elestrals on the field 1 attack and 1 defense for each of their enchanting spirits, making Suicune a big, beefy boy of 9 defense. And that's going to basically do it for my turn. We're going to take a look and see what Brandon can do. Can he out the Suicune this time? 9 defense is pretty strong, but he has the Veritaqua, which when attacking completely overrides anything like that. So he's just attacking and he's just passing. Just like that. Now, there's no Stratomoth going on right now, and he's on top of the board again. But with Aeolus, he didn't out it this time, so I'm able to search my deck for another 1-cost Wind Spirit. And one of the cards I'm thinking about grabbing here is Sorlet. Sorlet would be really good, but there's also plenty of good options in the deck. There's Arrowmare, there's Exaltair. There's a lot of good cards that are 1-cost wind. Here we're going for the Sorlet, everyone's favorite piece of bacon. It's good to have that card. It's a 5 cost, it's like a 5 power, 6 power because of the island, and it's just gonna attack over Veritaqua and end the turn there. I didn't want to grab Exaltair. I remember thinking that if I grab the Exaltair and I do a Nexus, it's going to get rid of my Aeolus, which I don't really want to do. I'd rather force Brandon to use a card to get rid of Aeolus than for me to Nexus it away, basically, for potentially no gain. And it lets me grab a card to follow up later on. But with all that being said and done here, it is his turn. How is he going to get over a 6-powered Piggy? What cards in his deck allow him to do that? It turns out that he's going to play what is known as Equilinx. He is a 4-attack, 1-spirit green creature that connects up to 2 green to target and destroy a rune on the field. And he has Demeter. Demeter being one of those special runes, just like Aeolus, where you can enchant up to extra spirits. He goes to go the whole 3. And it lets you disenchant a green to power up an Elestral by 3. He used the Equilinx to Nexus to pop my Aeolus, and he used Demeter to power up Equilinx so that could beat over Sorlet. That's a very good turn for him. To be honest, he got rid of my way to search cards and my creature on board, so I can't special ascend into a 2-drop wind or anything like that. Plus now he has Demeter to power up by 3 whenever he wants. Fortunately though, the Equilinx is only 4 power, so it's not impossible to beat over it. I'm probably thinking about what I want to do exactly to beat over it. If I'm taking this much time, I probably don't have the cards in my hand to attack over it, which is kind of unfortunate. I see myself eyeing P-Gust in my hand, and I'm probably thinking of using P-Gust in defense to maybe pop the Demeter. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, so we're getting rid of Demeter, forcing him to burn all the extra spirits he used. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't deal with his body. I don't have a way to deal with his body. Another card you guys might see in my hand if you're looking hard enough is the Bag of Winds, which would have given my P-Gust 2 defense, and in retrospect, I chose not to do it because of what you guys can see here. He's going into an Ascend of the Sacrosaur, so it's a good thing I didn't play the Bag of Winds to power it up. Sacrosaur is a really good card. It's 6 power in defense, which is really strong already, but you can expend 2 spirits to draw 2 cards. And I corrected my think. It has to be 2 earth and not 2 wind. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, he's going to Pot of Greed for 2 earth spirits, which is really strong. If I remember correctly, his turn doesn't end there. He's counting his spirits as well because he's going to play his own Nectar of the Gods, his own Pot of Greeds, and again, for the cost of 2 spirits, allows him to draw 2 cards from his deck. And yes, we will explain what Nectar of the Gods does. Just like how in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, they explain what pot of greed does every single time they play it. Anyway, he's going to go ahead and attack over, and that's going to be his turn. 6 power, again, really strong. If I had access to Sorlet, I could crash into it, which would be a good trade in my opinion, thanks to the wind spell, the wind field boosting me. But it turns out that I probably just don't have that. Here he's going to go into, I'm going to go into Nimbug, special send into a Suicune. Unfortunately from my hand, I believe the deck only plays 2 copies of it. And it's a big beefy boy already. A big boy. I'm going to use Ambrosia to recover 3 spirits. Do note that I did put the spirit in the discard pile in the Underworld. But I recovered 3 different spirits, so it's okay. You can't use Ambrosia to heal back the spirit that you use, just so you know. I'm looking at my spirits, I'm thinking about what I want to do. I know that I'm thinking about Bag of Winds here. I know I'm thinking about it, but I also know that if he has the right cards, he can just out it. So I just set, I think, a bluff, actually, and pass. I know the Suicune already has 9 defense thanks to the island, so it's going to be very hard for him to get over it. I know that he needs more than just the Scythe to get over that, which was, I think, the thought process in my mind. Like, he needs some combination of Demeter Scythe or Field Spell Scythe. Here he's going to play a nice little green creature, in my opinion. One of the most insane cards, known as Dratalia. And it's a 1-cost green, it last stroll. But if you use Ambrosia, you draw 2 cards. I've been theory crafting a deck that plays card like 3 Ambrosia, 3 of that. And it just lets you draw so many cards. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, he is going to go ahead and do the Ambrosia. He's thinking about maybe what spirit he wants to invest with it first, because he has to pay his spirit, enchant the Ambrosia to do it. So he's choosing a Wind Spirit, and I think he's going to recover mostly Earth Spirits here. Yeah, exactly. Nothing else he wants, nothing else he needs. No big deal. So we both Ambrosia'd in our respective turns. That's pretty good. We see him do the Pot of Greed effect off the Dratalia there for the Ambrosia, and he has Scythe. Scythe is a really, really good card in my opinion. So it gives you 2 attack, 3 defense, and if your Elestral that's equipped to, beats over your creature, you get to heal an Earth Spirit. If Demer's on the field, you get to heal 2 Earth Spirits. So you'll see here that my Suicune is 9 versus the 8 power thanks to the Scythe. He needs Demeter or he needs something else. And there's the something else, Tornado, to bounce the fields back to my hand, making it a 7-powered Suicune. He attacks over it. I don't take any damage because it was in defense mode. He heals his Hero Spirit. And now I do definitely regret not playing the Bag of Winds. Definitely a misplay that kind of punished me, it looks like. I'm kind of debating what to do. My hand looks pretty well unplayable. I don't think there's anything I can do. And I'm low on spirits as well. Yeah, I'm just scooping it up, and we're going to Game 3. That'll do it for today's video. Thank you so much for checking out my Elestrals content. Don't forget to check out the Call to Action Elestrals link and pick up some awesome Elestrals cards and other merch. It's kind of crazy. And again, if you want to see Game 3, 100 likes. That is my request. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes, and I'll show off the absolutely insane Game 3. That out of the way, have a nice day, everyone, and thanks for watching.